If you're thinking of pulling the train, don't. We big engines don't need another tank engine having ideas above his station. I'm only heating up the coaches, which is only right given you're 5 minutes late. Pah! Watch your mouth! You're in the presence of an express engine. Now get out of my way! Swindon engines know how to treat their shunters properly, Huff Duck. Honestly, I don't see what his problem is.
From what I can gather from Henry and James, Gordon still hadn't forgotten about that strike you had with that other shunner. They claim that they have put that behind them, but Gordon is much more difficult. And by the way, would you mind shunting my goods train to Clapham Junction? I tried shunting it myself, but I keep getting stuck on those curves.
Of course. Let's get on the job.
It's disgraceful, he grumbled. If he's to fetch our coaches, then he should be taking orders from us. The Fat Controller isn't here every day to do that for him. He wasn't as simple as we first thought. Ah well, at least he's a good shunter, and he doesn't play any tricks. I, for one, am glad he isn't following Thomas and Percy's tradition. Instead, he thinks his superiors shouldn't order him about. I don't know which is worse.
Oh God, here he comes.
At that moment, Duck bustled in. Hello, Henry. Your goods train is waiting for you on track 4. Oh, beg pardon, but I'll need the siding you're in for James's tankers now. And Gordon, could you go to— Just who do you think you are? Thundered Gordon. Duck frowned. You have enough cheek to waddle in here, demanding special treatment? Now you think you have the right to order us about? I'm not ordering you, I'm simply telling you, we will move when we are ready, snapped Gordon. Now waddle off and leave us big engines in peace. You do realise we were due to leave now anyway, don't you?
Shut up, Henry! I only wanted us to be treated better here.
Waddle off indeed, fumed Duck. That greasy Gresley. Alton Hall would put him in his place. Do mind, I'm trying to sleep. Stow it, you. I'm not in the mood today. Good morning, Duck. Oh, hello, Edward. Oh, beg pardon, I was just about to get your trucks ready. Oh, don't worry. I'll fetch them, said Edward kindly. Oh, for goodness sake. I thought tender engines here didn't shunt, said Duck bemused. More like some refused to, chuckled Edward. There's quite a story behind that. Anyway, are you alright? You seemed a little flustered when I arrived. Duck sighed and told Edward all about Gordon. And then he told me to waddle off, Duck finished. We engines have our ways, but that's no excuse for a lack of respect. Edward agreed. Gordon often looks down on those smaller than him. But don't worry. Take it in your stride for now. Underneath all that arrogance is a good-hearted engine, he smiled. Duck continued to work hard and kept Edward's advice in mind. He kept clear of Gordon whenever possible and stayed in the company of the other engines instead. A goods train? I won't do it. I'm an express engine, for goodness sake. Get Henry to take it.
Wait, what? What are you talking about, Gordon? The Fat Controller told me that I can take your express today. Were you even paying attention?
Oh, if James has been delayed, I wonder who's taking this lot. Oh, bother. Ow! Stop sulking, Gordon. Well, it's not my fault there's a duck amongst these dirty trucks. Are you alright, Duck? It's okay. He's uncoordinated after all. Gordon glared. How's about you let me do the shunting? You can't have empty vans in the middle, otherwise they'll— Pah! Gordon hissed. Trucks in the middle, trucks at the back. What do I care? And he stormed out of the yard before Duck could reply. Morning, Duck. What was all that about? That, said Duck, is trouble. Has he always been like this with trucks? Out on the main line, Gordon was proving hard to handle. Steady, boy, steady. You'll knock the train to bits at this rate. Well, if they were coaches, they'd come quietly. As they rounded a bend, the empty vans jolted violently. Then suddenly... What on earth happened back there? Typical trucks rocking themselves off the rails, I'm guessing. Although this time they had some help. Gordon said nothing. Later at the sheds that evening, the engines were unusually silent. Until... Gordon, he thundered, I am very disappointed. Like them or not, I expect you to pull trucks to the same quality as the Express. However, he said, turning to Duck, this wouldn't have happened if the train had been shunted properly to begin with. Duck faltered. Sir, beg pardon, but Duck isn't at fault here, sir, interrupted Gordon. It was all because of me. The Fat Controller stared. Go on, Gordon. I've been disgraceful towards him lately, and doing so eventually led to today's events. His work ethic here has been superb, and I regret to say it's taken me this long to accept him as part of the railway. We engines have our ways, he continued, but it's about time I treated our new tank engine the right way. Well then, smiled the Fat Controller. Thank you for owning up, Gordon. An excellent work from you, Duck. If this is how they do it on the Great Western, then I must say I'm quite impressed. Duck felt flattered. Thank you, sir. And thank you too, Gordon. By the way, Gordon, do you know how long it takes a flying kipper to get to Vickerstown? I don't know, sir. Well, you can find out as you'll be taking it for the next month. It's a train of vans, after all, so I imagine you could learn a lot from it. The other engines laughed, while Gordon fell embarrassingly silent. After the Fat Controller left, the engines fell silent again, until Gordon spoke up. I suppose I better get used to the smell of fish on my tender, he said sheepishly. And it looks like I'll be arranging the train for you tomorrow instead of Henry. Indeed. You know what? He added. Don't. You've worked hard enough today to earn yourself a rest in the morning. Gordon looked at Duck and grinned. Sodor engines know how to treat their shunters properly. Duck, the Great Western engine, couldn't agree more.